Hello. Hey everyone, Garbage here. There I am. How's everyone doing? Hello. Can you hear me? I hope so. Yes. So today we're gonna have a very good stream today. I hope that you're having a good time. Hello everybody. I got my emergency Coke, cherry Coke. Zero, gotta watch the figure. Hello everyone. Hello, welcome in. Yeah, so today we're gonna be doing a game development stream. I enjoy doing them, so we're gonna do them more. And so we'll get into doing that in a bit. But yeah, man. I hope you all had a good day today. I had a very good day today. I was got to eat barbecue, and that's always a good time. I hope you're jealous. It was very tasty. But yeah, let me know if the audio is bad or good. There's no mid audio. Yeah, it's either bad or good. What type of barbecue? I had some Korean barbecue, the best kind. And so I'm you know, you're gonna have a good day. You're gonna have a good day when you have Korean barbecue. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll get into the game dev then. Let me just move you guys to the second monitor. Man, I need to get a bigger second monitor, because right now I'm using my tablet as a second monitor and it is too small. It is too small. That's not what she said. Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, all right. We got Godot open. And just swipe one from a nearby office. I mean, I would, but we don't exactly have offices nearby. And you wouldn't catch me dead inside of an office either. So there's that too. All right. So let me show you where we're at, because I did a little bit of dev off stream, a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit. Nothing crazy or anything, you know. How's it going? It's going well, I think. I hope. But yeah, so let me show you what we've gotten so far. So we have a shotgun now. Yeah, it's fully animated and everything. You know, no sound effects or anything, but the animation is there. And then of course we have our assault rifle. This is looking pretty good. No enemies or anything. Yeah, shotgun. And it's a very specific type of shotgun too. I don't know if you recognize it. It's kind of hard to here. But yeah, it's a very specific type. I might show you. Though I did modify it a little bit, so it might be difficult. It might be difficult to figure it out. But yeah, so that's what we got. Yeah, there's no sound. There's no sound. I have to add that later. But we do have it. We do have a shotgun, and I'm pretty happy with the way it works so far. What else did I add? Oh yeah, walking animation. So it's all good. My first thought when seeing shotguns is, hold on, I can't see the rest of your. What did you say? Is the TF2 one? Is that right? Well, let me show you what kind of shotgun it is, and maybe you might be able to recognize it. Okay. Let's get rid of this. Does this shotgun look familiar to you in any way, shape, or form? It's pretty low poly, and this is not how it normally looks. But does it remind you of anything? It's not a 1897. Also, this right here is a bug. That you're not supposed to see that on the left side. Stream is too blurry on my end, so I can't see. Well, don't know what's going on. Let me check. Oh, let me see. It says I have a good connection here, so maybe try refreshing. Okay. Any more guesses as to what this shotgun is? No, it's because you're downloading stuff. Okay. This is supposed to be based off of a KS-23. Right? If you play Tarkov, you know what that is. It's a big old Russian shotgun. 4 gauge. 4 gauge. And that's what I based it off of. A potato blower. I mean, it does look kind of like a potato gun. I kind of made it look a little more cartoony than it is. In first person perspective, it looks pretty dope, I think. And didn't think anything went under 8 gauge. I mean, you know what a punt gun is? So a punt gun is a big shotgun that is taller than a man, like it is longer than a man is tall. And it's the equivalent of like a 2 gauge, 2 to 4 gauge. And you mount it onto a rowboat, and people use that to hunt flocks of ducks and geese back in the day. And it was so effective at killing geese and ducks that governments had to ban it because the ducks were going extinct. Yeah, like they were so ridiculously good at doing what they do that they had to be banned. Will it one-shot enemies in the legs? No, I don't think it will. I don't think it will. Mount it on a rowboat and make your own battleship. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would like. I want to show you a picture of a punt gun. Well, let me draw a picture of it. Let me draw a picture of what it looks like. Okay, so imagine we have a boat. Oops. We have a boat, right? A little rowboat. And then the shotgun is mounted on the boat like, it's like literally like this big, right? And then the man operating it is like this. Like this is like 2 scale. This is 2 scale. And then this is like the equivalent of like 2 gauge. Does the boat ever flip? No, not unless the operator is stupid. They are some of the craziest guns to have ever existed in history. By the way, could you explain how you did shotgun spread? Well, I can try. Okay, so yeah, let me show you. Okay, so here, so this is the player character controller, right? And you can see the camera is this purple thing right here, and then there's a blue line sticking out from the middle of the camera. That is your hit scan raycast, right? And so every time I fire the weapon, it rotates it puts a slight amount of random spread, like it rotates the raycast slightly, up or down inside its side for a random spread. And then when I shoot the shotgun, I just do that like 16 times quickly in a row, right? And it works really well. I hope you understand what I'm talking about if you're coming from game dev. I'm assuming projectile and raycast both work. Well, that general framework does work for both. But for this game, it's going to be a hit scan only. Unless I have like a rocket launcher or something. That will be projectile. I'm trying to make it so I spawn several projectiles from a point with tiny random rotations. Yeah, that's basically how you would do it. You wouldn't literally spawn them all at once. You would do a for loop with like 16 iterations, and then you would just spawn them like almost instantaneously, but there is like a tiny delay or something. Not like a delay. It just you have to spawn them one at a time. It's just that it happens so fast, it's like basically instant. Why does it say I'm playing VR chat? I don't know. Where does it say I'm playing VR chat? Oh, is it the YouTube? Well, I mean, I didn't specify that I was playing any sort of game. I guess it just assumed. Did you just assume my game? 16 pellets in a shell must be like 5-inch shell if it's double odd buck. Well, actually, it's a 4-gauge. It's a 4-gauge shotgun. It's a real thing, right? It's a KS-23. It's a Russian shotgun. And it actually has a rifling in the barrel. And so technically, it's considered like a carbine, right? Not a shotgun, but it is essentially a shotgun. Or rather, I should say it's based on the KS-23, right? Because I did make a few little modifications here and there, just for personal taste. But yeah, that's where we're at. And so today I want to do a few things, right? So I want to add at least one more weapon. I'm thinking I'm going to add like a magnum pistol. And then I also want to get started on the enemies too, right? Because right now our enemy doesn't do anything. It just stands there. So I want to give it some behavior. And so I think that's what we're going to do today. So do I model these in Blender? Yes, I do. Yeah, I'm liking how fast it switches between the two weapons. And so you can do like what is it, like Doom, like weapon switching and all that stuff, you can do that stuff if you want. So yeah. You seem to like Soviet guns. I do like Soviet guns. I like military surplus weapons in general. And I also like Soviet and you know, and surrounding countries, weapons from that region too. I do like those a lot. Apparently punt guns can exceed 2 gauge. Is that what you said? 2 gauge? This 1 gauge. It can, okay. That's pretty insane. Yeah, the punt guns, like they don't abide by such silly classifications like gauges. Like it's just big shotgun. Big shotgun. That's what it is. Okay. So first let's start with like the enemy behavior. I think we're gonna, because like, so this is supposed to be like a first-person shooter, vampire survivors ish game, and so there's gonna be you know, a number of different enemies that kind of chase after you, and you have to kill them to survive. And so we do need to add some basic AI, right? Nothing too crazy, because it's supposed to be a pretty simple and small scale game. What's the next gun you'll add? Pistol, SMG? It's going to be a pistol, a Magnum pistol. And so that's going to be like your starter weapon, right? You start with the pistol, and then you can get more weapons, right, as you're playing through. Kind of like how a Vampire Survivors type game works. I like Soviet vacuum tubes. I think they're neat. I think they look really cool. I like that idea a lot. You can have different energy types that work together, like in Halo CE. Oh yeah. I mean, that's like deeper into development. But yeah, there's a couple of things. There's a couple of like ideas I have, right? I don't want to like have too many ideas, right? Because then scope creep starts to take hold, and then the game just becomes too big, and then you know what happens then, right? So I want to try to keep the scope very, very small and try not to expand it too much. And then we can, if we release the game and it does well, then we can start adding some more stuff. Magnum handgun, huh? A lot of good wheel guns. Actually, I'm thinking about doing a not a revolver, a semi-auto. That's what I'm thinking. But a Magnum semi-auto, but maybe not a Desert Eagle. Maybe not a Desert Eagle, because I feel like we see too many of those in games. Keep the scope small. I guess no magnified sights then. No, it's just a small scope. There can be a scope, just small. just small, tiny. Consider the automag. That was the gun I had in mind. Was the automag. Hey CJ, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Okay, so let's go ahead and add like the most absolute basic of basic AI behaviors for the NPCs here. When I get lost, I like to keep my 2 friends nearby, Smith and Wesson. Yeah, always have your friend in your pants, right? Yeah, we got some beans, some pills right here. What happened to your Godot tutorials? I mean, they're still there. They're still there. They haven't gone anywhere. I haven't made new ones in a long time because my other videos do better, a lot better. And so, you know, I'm just doing the capitalist thing, you know? Though I have been thinking about doing some, maybe like a second channel for Godot tutorials. Maybe, I'm not sure. If Cupid shoots 2 guys, is it technically using a gay cast? I mean, If it, you know, if it looks like a duck, sounds like a duck, walks like a duck. Have you seen the Space 8K TKB? Never went into production, but it looks really sci-fi. Let me look that up. Let me look that up actually. Hold on, give me a second. Because I've heard of it. I've heard of it. I don't remember what it looks like off the top of my head. Space AK TKB. Oh, okay. That is a pretty psychedelic looking gun there. Interesting. Very interesting. I can't say I've heard of it before. It's a flat line. Nice. Okay. All right. So here's like our basic NPC, right? And so I'm not too sure how I want to like do different behaviors. I've got a few ideas in mind, but we'll see. Okay. So all of this is boilerplate. We don't really need most of this stuff here. But yeah, like in Vampire Survivors games, most of the enemies are just like walk in a straight line towards you. And that's how it's going to be for most of the enemies in this game as well. But there might be a few that act a little differently. Okay, so let's do the most basic thing, I think. Let's see. Okay. So we're going to add a node and we're going to call it eyes. Ooh. Or maybe not eyes, we'll call it, yeah, we'll call it eyes. Eyes at the feet. Makes perfect sense. Maybe a flying enemy, definitely a possibility. Definitely a possibility. I've never gotten as far as AI and pathfinding in my test projects. I mean, it is very daunting, right? It can be quite scary of a thing to tackle. So I don't blame you. Yeah, like a basic ghoul type enemy. So we're thinking that the enemies that you face off are going to be like demons or like demonic in nature. And I think I kind of want to go for a slightly cartoony aesthetic, right? I don't want the game to be too grimdark, you know, serious. But we'll see how it goes. Tutorial hell upon you. Yeah, I mean, especially with Godot, the topic of AI has not really been well covered. Yeah, even I haven't really made too much AI tutorial stuff. The best I've done is follow the player. Yeah, so this basic enemy is going to do basically is that, right? It's just going to follow you around. Okay, so all right, so we need a reference to the eyes, right? Node 3D. And this is one thing that I love about Godot, is that you can now do this export like prefix here to any variable, and then it shows up here. And so you can click this and you can click on the node to reference something. That's really, really neat. I love that a lot. Looks like a Python script. It appears like Python, but it's actually a GD script, which is the built-in scripting language for Godot. Though you don't have to use it. You can use C# or C++ or whatever. But I like using the GD script. It's really nice. It's like a nice engine or nice language to write in. Okay. And so another thing that I need to do, right? So I need to make it so that the NPC knows that this player exists, right? Your player, it needs to know that you exist, because right now it doesn't know that you exist. So how do we do that? Actually, I'm not too sure. I'm not entirely too sure. I'm thinking I might have to do a signal. A signal or something like that. Let's see. Okay, so game dev is weird because I simultaneously knew exactly what I need to do while having no idea how to do it. Yeah, welcome to game dev. Forever and ever. That's the entire experience. You know what you need to do, but you also have no idea how to do it. Yeah. Maybe have a big area node that detects the player. Well, I could do that. But actually, I don't think it's necessary, right? Because basically the enemies know where you are at all times, and so it's not based on if you're in a certain area. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a new node here, and we're gonna call this signals. Right, and so this is where we do all of our global signals and things like that. It's gonna be pretty awesome, I think. Let's see, do I have something for run? No, I just put the okay. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, we can do a signal and call it a NPC spawned. Right? That's the signal. And then why spawn the shot in a for loop rather than all at once? Well, at least the reason why I do it is so that I don't have to have well, at the end of the day, I mean, think about the logic. How do you spawn 15 items all at once? How do you do that, right? Logically. For me, I would just do it in a for loop, right? I mean, I guess you could copy and paste the line to spawn stuff 15 times, or you can just do a for loop, right? At the end of the day, it would be functionally the same because you're still going to be spawning each shot one after another, right? So I would just do it in a for loop. Though you can do it in other ways. It's for code simplicity? Not really. It's more just that's kind of logically the only way it can be done, right? Is that it spawns it in 15 times, one at a time, right? Regardless of how you do it, it's going to be that, right? That's how it's going to happen under the hood, right? So may as well just use a for loop, right? Because then it cleans up the code a little bit. Okay, and then we'll do another signal and call return player controller. Yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll have it called player controller. Yeah, there we go. You understand now? Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad I was able to teach you. Okay, so here we have. Okay, so here we have to get a reference to the options, right? So this is going to be an onReady var options, and then that is a node, and when this is, we'll do that by getting the node, and go to the root of the entire project, and then go to the run scene, and then the options. Or no, we need signals. Never mind, signals. But yeah, so I wish there was like an easier way to do this, but there's not really. That's one of like, I think it's like one of the downsides of the node-based structure of Godot is that if it's if you're trying to reference something like in a different scene with its own node tree, it can be kind of unintuitive, right? It's not difficult, it's just unintuitive, you know? So that's one thing that I had to definitely figure out some stuff. But otherwise, not too bad. Okay, so here in the player, we need to connect. Well, first we also need to get signals here too. What's your design philosophy for a map or terrain? Well, for this game specifically, we're going to do like, it's going to be like large arenas, right? So I'm going to try to keep relatively symmetrical, not too much verticality. Right, not too much verticality because that makes AI pathfinding a little more difficult. So we just want to have like a kind of like a large arena, large enough where you can run around freely without bumping into things, and then try to keep it enclosed. Right? Yeah, we don't want to go too open world with it because then there's no reason for it to be that way. Yeah, when we get into making the maps, well, you know, I'll show you more about how I want to approach it. But for now, we need to connect this signal, right? So signals. And connect, and believe we need to connect. What is it? Actually, I don't remember the No way, Garage making 2 for it. Ha 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 ha. Ho 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 ho. 2 for it is a little bit smaller than what I'm thinking. A little bit smaller. But maybe not that. No, it is a bit smaller. Okay, how does it work again? Okay, here we go. So we need the name of the signal, which is return player controller. Okay. Oh wait, no. We need NPC spawned. Okay, so NPC spawned. And then this is different from how I remember it, but okay. Okay, yeah, this always confuses me. But let's try it, I guess. On NPC spawned. right? And so I have to make a function for that. I guess we'll put it here. Okay, and we need the actual NPC that spawns in, so we're gonna have to change that. Okay. And let's go ahead and add that NPC spawned, and we need the NPC controller. Yeah. So let's test it. Let's test it, right? So when the NPC spawns in, it'll run this ready function here. And so let's say signals.emit signal NPC spawned. And then we'll pass self as the argument, okay? And so we'll just do a little print statement, make sure it's working. NPC has spawned. Ooh, and then yeah, player. Okay, let's see if that works. It should. Yep, right here. NPC has spawned, so it is working as I expected. And so then what we can do, right, we can grab the NPC and we can give it a function here. It says func, maybe like to call it init or init NPC. And that will do player controller, right? Or just call it player. And so we can make a variable here called target. And there should be a character body 3D. Right, and so then target equals player. Right, so okay, so when it spawns in, it's going to emit this signal called an NPC spawned, which is going to get sent to this player here. It's going to get that signal, and when it does, it's going to call the function on the NPC. What did I call it? Init NPC, yeah, and init NPC, and then we'll pass self as the argument. All right, so then when that happens, we can print target is, and then we'll just add, you know, the player dot name, right? So it'll give the name of the player, and then we'll just say NPC here, okay? And so that should work. It should. Okay, it didn't work. Non-existent function init NPC base character body 3D NPC.gd. Oh, because I added that that underscore there. Why did I do that? Okay, let's try it again. Okay. Target is player. Okay, it's working. So now this player knows, or this NPC knows that the player exists. So that's good. And that's how it should work, right? It's kind of like a, I don't know, I feel it's a bit circular. And I feel like there should be a more direct way to do it. But that's not how Godot works. So that's what we do. All right. So now that we have that, let's have it so that once you hit the target, then we want the we want the character to turn to look at the enemy, right? So if not target, or if target equals null, then we won't do anything, right? But if it is something, then we'll give it some behavior. So eyes.look at, so the eyes is what yeah, so the eyes will look at the target dot global position. Oh, and actually, before we do that, let's make sure that the eyes are top level. There we go. Okay, so it's gonna look at the it's gonna look at the target. Let's see, eyes dot that global position equals global position. So it's always gonna stay in the position. You know, it's always gonna follow along with the character, but it'll be able to rotate freely. Okay. All right. And then, well, let's make it so that, we can tell that it's actually turning, right? So we'll add a little mesh. Make it like a sphere. Then we'll make it smaller. And let's make it black. Give him little eyes. Little eyes. Okay. And duplicate that. Okay. Yeah, like that. So we'll call this the world model. And we're also going to set that as top level. Okay. So we'll grab the world model like that. Yeah. And set the world model as top level. So then and so we want the world model to kind of rotate more or less smoothly, right? To look at you. So how do we do that? How do we do that again? From world model.rotation.y to eyes.rotation. So we wanted to match the rotation of the eyes. And we want to do that over time smoothly. So let's see. We'll call this world model turn left, right? And make that a float. And let's do like maybe like 10. Hold on a second. Check on something real quickly. Okay, everything looks good. Everything looks good. Okay, continuing on. Okay, and so we'll call this the world model terminator. Multiply by delta, of course. So let's see if that does anything. Oh, no. Eyes.global position. Oh, okay. I didn't write I, okay. Okay, yeah, so now our little dude follows us. Or at least he turns to look at us. Is this Godot 3 or 4? This is Godot 4. Okay, so now our dude turns to look at us no matter where we are. Okay, so that is the correct behavior that we're looking for. And so now we can have the guy chase after us, right? Okay. And so we'll give him like a speed. I think we'll call it maybe like default speed. And we'll make it slow for now just to demonstrate it. Yeah, I mean, so far I haven't really missed anything from Godot 3. You pretty much get all of that in Godot 4. Most of it's been an improvement. A few things are a little bit more janky to deal with. But otherwise it's not too bad, I don't think. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and get rid of all this here. Yeah, we don't need any of this. Okay. Okay, we'll create a direction variable. For direction. This is a vector 3. Okay. And so direction equals eyes.global transform basis.z. So this is like basically the front of the character. And so like it's a vector pointing out from the front of the character, and that's the movement direction. Okay. And then we can multiply it by the or we'll create a function called speed, and it will return the default speed. Okay. Oh wait, we don't even need direction, I don't think. We'll need it later when we want to interpolate the... Yeah, let's just test it out. Let's just test it out. Can't wait for the juice. Neither can I. Alright, let's see if this works. Alright, he's not moving. And also, he's not looking at me anymore, so that's a problem. Everyone want a game dev, no one wants to dev games? Yeah, kinda, huh? Like, it's like, hey, don't you have a game you need to be working on? As what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you watching YouTube videos? Why are you doom scrolling Twitter? Why are you on TikTok? You know, shouldn't you be making your game? Why are you getting lazy? Yeah. Okay, so what's going on here then? What am I missing here? Not your fault. Police took your PC after you were arrested? Wow. I'm sorry. Okay, let's see. Is it because of... Oh, I bet you it's because of this right here. Let's just get rid of this for now. No, still not working. Wonder what's happening. Why are you not working? Oh, I know what we can do. Instead of that, we can just say, direction equals, minus transform dot basis. No. Maybe the world model? No, it should just be eyes, right? Eyes dot, or negative eyes transform dot basis dot z. It should just be that. And then velocity equals direction. I mean, it should just be. It should just work like that. Let's see. Why isn't it working? I'm so confused. This is a weird one. This is a weird one. Maybe we need to put this in the physics process. Let's see. eyes. Oh, is it global transform? Let's see. No, still not working, and the guy is not looking directly at me either. I wonder why. Yeah, this is a head scratcher. Normally this just works. Oh, am I dumb? I think I'm dumb. I think I'm dumb. I think I'm dumb. I may actually just be dumb. Doesn't direction have to be a move and slide? No, not ever since 4.0. That changed. I think I may be dumb. I may just not be updating. Yeah, so now the guy is moving, but he is halfway in the floor. But yeah, I just wasn't updating the world model position. Okay, that is very dumb of me. Okay. See, that's just the game dev experience right there. It just never ends. It's always like that. Okay, so then for the world model, okay, yeah, so in that case, we'll add a new node. Isn't that great? Isn't that fun? And we'll add this and call this the world model. We'll just change this to just mesh in there, just like mesh for now. That's all. Okay, the world model goes down here. And then mesh is there. Okay, it should work properly now. Let's see. Nope, still not working right. Okay. Okay, here. Yeah, because we weren't even referencing the right node. Look, every time I have some weird problem, always turns out because I just did something dumb. That's game dev in a nutshell. It's always just me doing something dumb. Could you offset the Y position in the code? Yeah, you could, but it's usually just easier to just make it a child of a node and do it in the editor. there's no real reason to do it in code. Yeah, so now it works, right? So here, this is the proper behavior. And you can shoot it, right? And I know that looks a little bit weird right now, but yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It looked like a Pac-Man ghost if they were about the size of a human's head. It kind of does, huh? Can't believe Garbage sabotaged the development of Cyberpunk. It was me! It was all me! It was all me. I'm the one that made the game like that. Is that the same shotgun system in your tutorial? And not really. It's much cleaner. It's much cleaner than the shotgun tutorial. And much simpler. But like, I guess like the general idea is similar, but like some of the implementation has changed with Godot 4.0. And so it's not really up to date anymore. Did I make the Mossberg off stream? Yes, I did. And actually, it's not a Mossberg. Let me show you. Right, so this is actually a weapon inspired by the Russian KS-23. You might be able to recognize some of it, right? Like I think like the slide is like the most recognizable part. Normally it's not this short, and it has like a stock, obviously, but we gotta make it a little, you know, gotta make it a little like ass blaster, like in Doom, you know. Yeah, sawed off situation. But yeah, as far as my favorite snack is concerned, I would say probably like, I mean, these days I've been really just liking some like rice with like some seasoning on it, right? Like some furikake or a little bit of soy sauce or something like that. I've been liking that. I also like beef jerky, I guess. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I've noticed that my diet has been, or like my tastes in food have changed a lot recently. I'm thinking possibly the hormones from transition might have some effect on that, but I don't know for sure. It's not scientific. It's a hypothesis. But yes, furikake is amazing. I love it. Though right now the only furikake I have is a type with wasabi, like little bits of wasabi in it too. It's all right, but it's not like my favorite, but it's still pretty decent, you know. The Japanese put them in those small ass packets to stop me scooping them straight into my mouth. Yeah, I just get the one from the Asian market. It's like, you know, a little glass cup with a plastic lid that you pull off. That's the stuff I have. Celazin 4 is a civilian variant of KS-23. Unlike the original, it doesn't have a grenade launcher mount, obviously. Oh man, why is it obvious that you shouldn't have a grenade launcher mount? No, that probably makes sense. Yeah, as you can tell, I kind of have an interest in, yeah, Soviet weapons. They're kind of cool, I think. But yeah, where were we? Okay, so the NPC moves a bit slow right now, but we can make it move faster. And so I bet, yeah, no, he's not moving faster. Okay, cause it didn't multiply the speed by the speed. Am I still working on your FPS game? It's a different game now. This game right here is, oh, okay. We just learned something here. The guy will float up in the air. Okay, that is good to know. All right, all right. Okay, in that case, get away from me! Get away from me! Okay, well, in that case, what we can do, I love the DPM, such a brutally elegant feed system. Is that what the KS23 has? Hi, welcome to Forgotten Weapons, and today we have the Remington grenade launcher. Yes. Man, I remember when Forgotten Weapons was a much smaller channel. And he was, he did I remember like the first video I saw of his was the Nagant revolver. And he was basically just shooting it, and I was like, hell yeah, hell yeah. DPM is a modernized DP28 LMG. Oh, okay, I see. Using that the Cherry-o-Muka tear gas grenade to smoke out a bear from its lair would be rad. Yeah, totally rad. Very, very legit reason to have, right? Okay. So then instead of using the eyes, then I guess we could do the world model instead. So world model. Right, so now when we jump in the air, he only stays on the ground. Right, I don't think he's gonna be like, the dudes are gonna be this fast. But my character controller is fast enough to overtake him. See ya. Maybe we could have like a fast enemy that runs really fast, right? To make it a little more scary. Yeah, and you might be wondering, like, why are the bullets like rotating around him? And that's because the bullets are attached to the collision box, and the collision box doesn't actually rotate. Just the visual instance of it rotates, so it kind of looks weird right now. It won't look like that later. Okay, so here's a problem, right? So if he gets caught behind a obstacle, right, then he doesn't know how to navigate around it. And so that is something that we're gonna have to use pathfinding for, because otherwise he's just gonna stay there like that. Make the red bean randomly jump at you. Yeah, so we could have like a character or an NPC that like they'll pause, they'll like, oh, okay, so here's another thing, right? If they get too close to you, then they're just gonna push you. They're just gonna push you like that. And so I need to prevent that. Oh, I know how to prevent that. I know how to prevent that. Maybe a rushing enemy that you have to dodge rather than a fast one. So yeah, I'm thinking, right? So yeah, it's a pretty standard like enemy pattern, right? So you have, okay, so you have the enemy here, right? And so first thing he'll do is he'll scan like an area for you, right? Okay, so if you're here, then he'll scan, he'll find you, right? And then he'll lock this position right here. And then after a small delay, then he will jump in that direction, right? Of course, you might be here at that point, so then you would, so then the enemy would end up here, and you would be here. So that would be dodging it. But if you're not fast enough, then then the enemy will hit you and you'll take damage, right? That's I see that a lot in a lot of games. We could do something like that for some of the NPCs. Will beans have guns or only melee? I'm not sure. I'm thinking about that. For now, I think it's going to be like Vampire Survivors, where they have to like hit you, like physically touch you to damage you. But there is a possibility of it like having projectiles or something. I'm not sure. I don't want to like make the development too long, right? So we'll have to think about it. Depending on the game's pace, it could either be very high damage or some stat effect like bleed. Yeah, like things like bleeding. I don't know if we'll have like the time to do that kind of sort of thing. It's supposed to be really fast paced and kind of simple. I want it to be kind of like a shooter where you just kind of like get into a flow and you just start shooting stuff. Right, so I don't know if I want to have them worrying about things like status effects and stuff, but because that's a little bit outside the scope of what I had in mind, but we'll see. Yeah, like I said, we want to make this game fast, and so we have to avoid overscoping, right? I'm trying my best to keep that in mind. Okay, all right. Well, so for now, that works okay, and so we'll get the more advanced like pathfinding figured out later, right? But that's just sort of the basic idea of what we want to do. The boomer shooter design principle, basically, right? So, what is happening? Okay, I'm stuck. Okay. This is interesting. My mouse is trapped inside an invisible window. Scaling down is difficult, but usually the right choice. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure what I should do here. Maybe Alt F4? Save and quit. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, we're back. Let's see if it... Okay, we're here now. Okay, so yeah, right now we have unlimited ammo, right? And so basically I'm thinking, yeah, it's gonna be like Doom, where you just have a pool of ammo and then you can keep shooting as long as you have ammo. You don't need to reload. And then to get more ammo, you just pick up ammo, I'm thinking. Because again, reloading animations and all that is like a pain in the ass. So we'll see. Yeah, but it is kind of fun just kind of running around doing this. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I want to avoid overscoping and overdoing all that kind of thing. Okay, I guess we can. What we could do now is we can add like a new weapon. So I want to add a magnum pistol, and that's sort of like your base weapon, your starter weapon. I'm thinking that one's gonna like legit have unlimited ammo, right? Because you don't want to be left without any ammo, right? Or you don't want to get soft locked, right? Where you don't have any ammo and you can't kill any enemies. I wanted to make a procedurally generated dungeon crawler, but I've come to the conclusion that it's better to have prefab rooms with portals instead. Yeah, generally I think like procedural generation, Like, it's only useful if you plan to generate like thousands of things, right? If your game is small enough where it only needs to generate like, no, what am I saying? Basically, right, it's worth it. It's worth the time to develop if the game is big enough for it, right? But if it's not, I don't know. Like, if it's like just like a tiny little game, I don't know if it's worth it, right? It might just be faster to make a pre-built level or something, right? That's what I was gonna say. How exactly do you gather resource data in one place for something higher on the tree to grab from? Okay, well, I'll show you how I'm doing something like this here. But first, Ashley, hey, welcome to the bag. Okay, so like for example, right? So here's the NPC, right? And it needs to get the player, right? It needs to know what the player is so that it can follow it. But the player exists higher up on the tree and it's in like a completely different scene. So what I had to do was make signals, right? So when the NPC spawns in, it'll say, hey, I'm spawned in, and it'll send that signal to the player. And then for the player, we'll be like, okay, so this NPC just spawned in, so then we can now give the NPC the appropriate information so it can follow me. But that sort of thing is kind of tricky to do in Godot. It's like there's not like a clear, easy way to do it, and you kind of have to just figure out something like what I did here. You know, it's one of the weaknesses of Godot, I think. Like, you can't just be like, here, this is the thing, you know. Procedural generation algorithm requires some time and effort to build, so the scale of the game needs to be big enough to justify this sunk cost in the long run. Yeah, that's basically what I was trying to say, right? It has to be worth it, right? The inspiration was Coded Arms, a FPS dungeon crawler with procedurally generated levels on the PSP in 2005. Wow. No clue how they made that work with 32 megabytes of RAM. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get the suspicion, the sneaking suspicion that like PSP, like people, like developers making games for PSP are like a different breed. Like, they're on a different level from other developers. I feel like they're like people who made games for like the PS1, right? Or for like they're just on a different level. Or like people who make games, who write games like with assembly. It's like, yeah, that you're just built different. You're just built different if you can do that kind of stuff. I mean, I would like to learn how to do that, right? Like, not just like writing your own engine or anything like that, right? With C or whatever, but like doing it in assembly. Now that's interesting. But yeah, let's see, what do we got to do? Right, we're gonna add the gun. Okay, let's get Blender open then. Okay, and then, oh wait, I don't have the main file. Okay. Also, the original Elite from ZX Spectrum, there were literal kilobytes of space on tape, yet they've crammed enough resources to churn out a 4 billion variants on galaxies for this game. Really? I did not know that. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, like smart people doing smart things is always very impressive, for sure. Okay, well, I guess before I continue, I'm gonna go use the restroom. Tools for old consoles are getting pretty popular, so we're probably not far off from a retro renaissance. I feel like we're living through that right now, right? We've got people making homebrew for all kinds of retro consoles, you know, N64, you know, like the Wii and PSP, and yeah, like for like they're making games for Game Boy. Like it's just really cool, right? Like the entire, yeah, like the entire like, yeah, it like these consoles are being reverse engineered, right? Like completely from nothing, and it's like, wow. You bought a Commander X16? What is that? What is that? All right. Yeah, so I'm gonna go use the restroom and then I'll be back. It seems hard to be excited about the new consoles and the new installments of long series of games. Yeah, it could be. Well, like I guess it's mainly, I guess it's sort of like we're just jaded, right? Because of the way the AAA game industry is right now, right? And there seems to be a lot of negative sentiment about it. And so it could be like very difficult to feel optimistic about games. I do think that there's a bit of a change happening right now though, right? Because I think like a lot of the recent layoffs are kind of a symptom of that, right? A lot of these companies are realizing, oh, wait a second, I think we need to course correct here because we're kind of in over our heads. I mean, it sucks that so many developers had to lose their jobs. Like it's like you could have seen that coming, right? You could have seen it coming that people don't want like just, you know, microtransaction stores with a little bit of gameplay tacked on, right? That we don't want that, right? And yet the whole industry was like, yeah, let's do that, money, let's print money, but then now players are starting to revolt against that, and I think maybe hopefully these game studios or like game publishers are starting to get the message, hopefully. Yeah. Yeah. Whoops, went on a rant. Okay, bathroom time. I'll be back. Shoop, bye-bye. Shoop. You're just gonna have to stare at a purple screen for a bit, okay? I'll be back. Hello. It is I. Garbage. The renaissance of old consoles will probably bring about new game developers, though. New skills and talents to provide us with new experiences. That would be nice. Yeah, that is true. I guess a lot of the old OGs of game dev, right? Some of the people responsible for some of the most iconic games in history. They're all starting to, a lot of them are starting to leave the industry, right? Through one way or another. And so, yeah, so there's going to be a big void of knowledge, right? Especially for old consoles and stuff. But if new people come in and they start taking an interest in stuff like that, I mean, maybe there will be a renaissance. Who knows? It's odd that there's so few AA games. Indies are doing great, but publishers put all their eggs in one basket with absurd budgets. Yeah, I don't really know why that's the case, right? We have, AA, I guess that's considered mid-budget, not quite AAA. But what kind of games would fall under that category? Right, and then there's A, single A, right? And I have no idea what that is. I didn't even know that there was anything less than AAA until not too long ago, actually. I thought it was just indie and AAA. But apparently there's a whole bunch of other A's. Something like Hi-Fi Rush. Okay. And so then something like Pal World would be considered an indie title. So then what would be an A? Like a single A? What kind of game falls under single A? Yeah. But there were the B movies, part of the same gradation. I guess so. Not that I've ever heard of A movies, or I guess A-list. A-list would be for actors, and AAA should be how good the game is rated. If that was the case, then Fallout 76 would be an F. Wow. I mean, I don't think anybody disagrees with you there. Never heard anybody call it that, a single A. Yeah, me neither. Some people classify AA and A to be varying levels of budget. Big games still, but not tied to a big network of studios like Microsoft Studios. But where's the line between A and indie, right? Can an indie game be a AAA game too? Is that possible? I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of a big question, right? Right, because the budget, just using strictly budget, doesn't account for everything. Devolver Digital, maybe, or the company that publishes the Dusk and those other boomer shooters, would that be considered? That's not indie, right? Because now there's a publisher involved. Right, but it's definitely not AAA, right? Or probably not even AA, right? We talking about batteries, right? Yeah. The world of battery sizes is just insane. Okay. Or like what would Insurgency Sandstorm be considered? Right? Is that indie? No, right? Because that it has like there's like a publisher. So would that be like double A or like single A? I don't know. It's very confusing, isn't it? Also, AAA seems like a better return on investment in absolute numbers, like having an overhead of 120% for a $10 million budget and a $100 million budget is a pretty big difference when you got to pay out $50 million. Well, I'm not sure what you mean, right? If you're well, like 120 overhead of 120% for 10 mil. I'm getting confused here. If you have an overhead that is higher than the cost of the game, wouldn't that just be the cost of the game then? I don't know. You meant the profits. Oh, okay. So if okay, so you're saying, oh yeah, all right. I guess what you're saying is that a 20% profit on a $10 million game is a lot bigger than 20% profit on a $10 million game. Yeah, I guess so. That makes sense. Right, but that's only assuming like the overhead costs remain fixed. And they might, right? Like, so, okay, yeah, I see what you mean now. What's the name of that horror movie publisher? They invest in hundreds of projects with a low budget and they only need one to be successful. That would be A21, right? I think. Let me see. I'd say if the team developing the game directly works for the publisher, that's AAA. If they have a publisher but the team developing it is independent, that's AA. And if there's no publisher, that's A. So then that in that case, it wouldn't matter. The budget size doesn't matter, is what you're saying. It's not about the budget. It's about the publisher-developer relationship. I think that's interesting. It might work. It might make sense. But I feel like budget does have some amount of impact, right? I think well, like, so let's say EA makes a game or EA has a like Respawn Entertainment make a game with a budget of $100,000. That's a AAA game. That's a AAA game. Like, well, maybe, huh? Well, like, so like, for example, would Candy Crush be considered a AAA game? That's actually a good question. Is Candy Crush a AAA game? Because that's owned by Activision Blizzard King. So where does Star Citizen belong in the system? It belongs in the doesn't exist system, right? Right, still in development. Wouldn't it make sense to also consider who owns the IP when you classify them? Like AAA always has the IP owned by a big publisher who has studios make games for the IP. I mean, yeah. If it's like if it's like the IP is owned by a publisher and they can make multiple games using that IP, that might be like one qualifier, I guess, for AAA. But like I said, again, is Candy Crush a AAA game? You were thinking about Bloomhouse movies. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, they're kind of like, what is that, like Lionsgate? Lionsgate, I think, is a little bit bigger, though. It wasn't at the start, but I can see how the system can get messy the more we try to unravel this spool of yarn. Yeah, like, I feel like there's not really, like, we didn't really think too deep into it when we call it AAA. Okay, so let's actually get started on doing the I guess we'll call it the Magnum. Yeah. Down the rabbit hole. Do you guys know about Frederick Knudsen and his Down the Rabbit Hole video series? He recently made a 5-hour-long video on EVE Online. That's awesome. Yeah. I haven't watched the whole thing yet. Okay. Man, we kind of went on a tangent, and I like completely like lost my momentum for development. It's like 6 to 7 hours, if I recall correctly. Yeah, something like that. Sometimes you can't define a category in a way that only is supposed to fit in. Yeah, like I said, I don't think we really thought about it too much when we came up with the term AAA. We're just like, hey, this is a AAA game. It's bigger and better than indie games, you know. I bet you it's a term, like, I bet you like one of the big publishers themselves came up with it. Yeah, our games are AAA. You know, we have, you know, our budget and quality is much higher than, you know, your everyday drivel. You know, buy our games, not their games, you know. Many indies have a publisher, but usually it's the studio's IP. Yeah, right. There's like a million different ways that it can be, and some of them, right, and like certain little things can impact whether it's considered indie or AAA or whatever. Yeah, it's a way to make boomer investors understand. Yeah, it's like a marketing thing. Like, you know, for example, the phrase "the gun that won the West," right? We associate that with I think it was like the Winchester lever action rifle. Winchester made that term up. They're the ones that made up that term. They're like, yeah, our gun, the Winchester, is the gun that won the West, right? Buy it, even though the gun didn't really exist when the West was being won, right? So, like, I feel like this might be a similar situation. Yeah, I feel like this might be like one of those things. Hey Harper, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Okay, okay, let's pretend to like actually do something here. Primary, pass. Okay, we did something. You meant the letter budget spectrum, not the 8-bit computer. Yeah. Oh wait, I think okay, I don't know what we're talking about anymore. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, like I've completely lost my drive. we got this little dude following us, and that's pretty cool, honestly. Yeah, head empty, just spaghetti code. All right. Let's see. Okay, so we'll basically just do the same thing, right? I think what we can do, the thread of the conversation is lost into this rug of different thoughts interwoven together. Very poetic. Yes, what a beautiful way to to describe this situation. All right, I'm just gonna copy all of this here. And I'm gonna paste it here. Because it's going to be about the same logic at least. Let's see. I think my favorite marketing thing is the Pepsi inferiority complex, where they declare that people can't tell the difference between Pepsi and better products. I remember those. They're like, oh yeah, we're blindfold test 2 different types of soda, cola products. Which one tastes better? And then they're like, oh, this one tastes better. Oh, well, guess what? That's Pepsi. Hoo hoo, aha. You actually like Pepsi, and it's like, like, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Sorry for derailing the conversation. No, you see, I think the best moments in my streams are when I go off on a tangent, or like when the conversation goes somewhere completely unexpected. So I encourage you to make that happen, right? Just say something. Hopefully it gets like some kind of conversation going. Like it's a win-win for everybody, honestly. Also, you have Stardew Valley, which originally didn't have a publisher, then did for a while, but now it doesn't anymore. Yeah. Wasn't Undertale? No, Undertale is still. I mean, that's still like Toby Fox and his company, right? I don't think there ever was a publisher involved, or was there? I don't know. Like, I don't know how he got the game on console. I don't know if there was a publisher involved there. There was never a conversation to derail. We were off the rails from the beginning. Yes. Well, then I'm going to start working on my game now. Yeah. Make your game. Make it happen. Okay, let's at least attempt to do something here. I heard Toby handed the music off to a company to deal with, so not sure. Yes, he did. He did hand over the music to a separate company, and it seems to be kind of biting him in the ass nowadays, because recently there was a thing where, yeah, there was like a fan-made game called Undertale Yellow that had the blessing of Toby Fox. Gave it his blessing. He allowed them to use the music in the game, but the developers got like a cease and desist from whoever owns the music or something like that. Yeah, and so it was kind of a you know, a bit of it was part of the discourse on Twitter for a while. I think Toby dealt with that pretty quick though. Yeah, I think the issue is settled, but it's like he's had like instances like that in the past, I believe. He licensed the music. He does not own. No, he does own it. He does own it. But, or actually, I don't know. I don't know. Does he own it? I don't know. But with his next game, Deltarune, he made sure that the music was 100% his, and that he owns everything, right? So he doesn't have to deal with that kind of stuff anymore. There was a thing with a guy named Sebastian Wolf, which is funny because both him and Toby have animal last names. Yeah, it was. At first I thought the whole thing was like a psyop or like a joke or something, right? Because because the guy's name is Sebastian Wolf, and I was like, no, is this real? But yeah, it was real. It was real, and it wasn't Sebastian. The whole thing was weird. Can you declare company status if you're the lone member? I have no idea. Unfortunately. That is not my expertise. Let's see. Okay, yeah, my brain is just too on something else right now for game development. So we're just gonna pause it here, and we can just continue talking about whatever, right? Because I'm not quite ready to end the stream yet. So go back here, and we can just talk about whatever for a little bit. Yeah. I mean, in general, using Undertale music for non-commercial purposes, personal purposes, whatever, or personal projects, it's okay. It was just this one specific instance where I don't know what happened. In my country, you can found a company as a single entrepreneur, so it depends. Well, in the US, right, there's different classifications of a business, right? And one of the classifications is a sole proprietor, right? Which is you can do business things as a sole proprietor, but it's not like a corporation or a limited liability company or anything like that. It's just like you doing a business, by yourself. So I guess that's kind of similar in that way. Yeah, sole proprietorship. And then each different classification has different tax implications and things like that. It's a bit over my head for sure. Yeah, and so you can do things like that, but if you want to start a company with employees and stuff, then it gets a little more tricky. It's still a transaction between two parties either way. Yeah, over here in Canada, you can just start a registered company where you are the only member. So yeah, that's basically the same thing as a sole proprietorship, right? And then also there's it's called a partnership if it's you and one other person doing something. But it's again different from a corporation or an LLC. Yeah, the world of business, right? Very weird and interesting and complicated. I'm really not looking forward to having to deal with running a company just to sell games, but I don't think I have much of an option in my country. Do you have to be a company in order to sell games? Like, right? Because as far as I know, like you can just make an itch.io account and sell your game, right? You can just do that, right? And I think on Steam they don't, like, you don't have to be a company, right? You can just be a person and sell a game. But you know, that could be different in other countries. That is true. I do not know anything about how business works in other countries. I hardly know how business works in my country. And the little suffix in French of the registered company is ENR. Don't know the equivalent in English. Yeah, I don't know either. We have like incorporated or INC. We have LLC. Stuff like that. Depending on the country, can be a little tricky on how to report the income from the sales. Yeah, that is true, especially if you live in a country. Well, like there's stuff like VAT taxes, and other things like that. So yeah, it can get tricky, and so yeah, make sure you get knowledgeable about how it works in your country before. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't it be nice if we could just do whatever we want without having to deal with that kind of stuff, right? That's exactly what I'm planning to do. Sell a game on Steam for what is it? For maybe $1 just to see if I can do it. I mean, I don't know how that would, what that would result in, to be perfectly honest. Depending on the country, the taxation for physical entities and companies is different. In mine, you need to register as self-employed in order to do some jobs officially. Do you like GFL? I do not know what that is. Reporting income and taxation is complicated, and it doesn't have to be complicated for the individual, but we're better with. Yes, it's best to be informed about how business works in your jurisdiction. Imagine a game pricing based on its weight, like 0.001 cent per megabyte. Well, if it's like, let's see, that's like a thousandth of a cent, or is it 100? No, it's 1,000th of a cent. So then, like a gigabyte is 1,000 megabytes, right? So 1,000 divided, and you multiply that 0.001. So then you pay $1. You can charge $1 for that. So then if a game has 150 gigabytes, that's $150. Then every game will be like 300 gigabytes. You know, like everyone will just put like garbage in the game just to bloat the file size. Well, I'm saying that 0.000 or 0.001 dollars would be like 1,000th of a dollar, right? So if you have 1,000 gigabytes, or if you have 1 gigabyte, that's 1,000 megabytes, which would be $1 per gigabyte. Yeah, so every game will have, 16K textures. It'll have like every model will have like 1 trillion polygons, There'll just be like a bunch of like unused assets just in the files, just to bloat the game size. Yeah, that would be a special kind of hell, I will say. It's like, oh yeah, yeah, I need a 20 terabyte SSD to play games, and this is like 3 games. Literally TF2. Is TF2 filled with like a bunch of unused stuff? I guess it is, right? Like there's like stuff in there. Like the coconut. The coconut isn't actually in the game, right? Like it's just there, right? Yeah, raw, uncompressed sound with voice actors' bloopers as extras. Yes. Reminds me of those old iOS apps that cost 1 million USD and was literally just a PNG of a diamond. And people actually bought that. That's like the funny part, is people actually bought that. It's like, yeah, I'm so rich, I can just pay for this thing. It's like a, yeah, it's it's hilarious. Like people actually bought that. Shonik has a good video on the TF2 coconut. Yeah, I watched it. It was very fascinating. NFT moment, yes. Oh man, I'm glad the whole NFT thing is like done now. I'm glad we're past that. Yeah, I got reached out to so many times because of my 3D renders. Oh man, I like Kenny. You know who Kenny is, right? The free asset guy. Yeah, I bet he still gets, billions of NFT bros trying to do a business, with. Is it really one of the main game resources, the coconut PNG? I don't remember if it was the coconut or if it was something else, but like if you deleted one specific thing from the files, it would break the game. But I don't remember if it was the coconut or not. It's the 2-fork cow. Okay. Must resist playing more Art of Rally. Played it all day, hands tired. I mean, hey, at least you have a game that that you can enjoy like that. There was a rumor that the coconut did it, but it doesn't actually. Yeah, I think at this point the coconut's just there, like for historical purposes. Like Valve knows it's there, and they could delete it, but they won't, just because, like, to preserve history. TF2 has insane code, based on all like the leaks, like source code leaks of various games. It seems like all of Valve's games have spaghetti code. Right, that's what they call result-oriented development, right? Instead of system-oriented development. And I think that's like, yeah, like if you want to actually get a game out, then you kind of have to be focused on the result rather than like building good systems or whatever, I've grinded a couple stages. I'm top 1% in a few of them, completed the career, so I mostly had time attack to do. Huh. Do it. Someone made a fake developer comment about the coconut crashing the game as a joke on how bad the code is, but a lot of people thought it was real. That is hilarious, and that is so internet. That is such typical internet. Gotta make sure your game is al dente before release. Yeah. It's like, you'll clean up the code later, in a future update, you'll patch it. No, I'm pretty convinced that every game that is like released has spaghetti code. Like, it's just a mess. I'm convinced. Yeah, later, like mythical later, you know. Yandere dev style. well, I mean, just because your game has spaghetti code doesn't mean that it is going to release. That it's finished, right? But I feel like every game that is finished has spaghetti code. Nothing more permanent than a temporary anything. Yeah, the stopgap, the placeholder becomes the main thing, and then you have to like build an entire like system around it. And then it becomes permanent. Yep. That's that's it right there. Kind of bizarre how if you look deep enough, you'll find traces of Quake in so many games still. Yeah, like anything that is like built on Source Engine, or if there's gonna have some like some Quake DNA in there. His game barely ran on a 3090. Okay, that is concerning. ASAP, as Sir B used to say. I mean, that is a game that is out. It is successful, and yeah. Man, I had a headache getting the marinara off of my controller, trying to get my game to work on keyboard and mouse and gamepad. Oh, that's another thing I gotta do. Okay, that's another thing I gotta do. I gotta add controller support to the game. But I don't want to do it, but I should. But it's gonna add a lot of development time, so I'm conflicted. A toothbrush turned the Yandere sim into a PowerPoint presentation. Uh-oh. Did the toothbrush have like every fiber of its bristles like fully rendered? Yeah, I don't want to, but I gotta. Yeah, so we'll probably tackle that eventually. It was fully rendered. Oh my god. That's hilarious. You know, I mean, sometimes it works for some games. Like apparently Undertale, the code is an absolute mess, but the game runs fine. Yeah, so you got to find a good balance, right? You got to get it done quick. You can't worry too much about how clean the code is, but you don't want to destroy the performance. Yeah. All right. I think I'm gonna call it there. So we didn't get very much done today, unfortunately. We just got the NPC to follow you around a bit. But I get the feeling that these game dev streams are not really about deving the game, right? Like we don't really care how much progress we make in a stream, right? It's more about just chilling, right? And just having a back and forth. Yeah. I find them fun to do. So I want to keep doing them. I hope you enjoyed it. It's about gaming the dev. Yes, that is the perfect way to describe it. Honestly, it's great in body doubling since you and chat are mostly doing the same thing. It's a fun back and forth. Yeah. I find that, yeah, like just generally speaking, my favorite type of stream is just when I get to talk to you guys. And like when I watch other people stream, that's usually like my favorite type of stream. If it's not like a game that I'm really interested in or something, right? It's just give me the talk. Just give me the talk. Like that's all I need. ASMR streams are good for me too. I don't know if or when I'll do an ASMR stream, but I kind of want to try. Right? I want to do a karaoke stream eventually. And I want to try ASMR, but we'll see. A lot of different things that we can do. But yeah, okay. I think that's going to be it for today. Thank you all for stopping by. It's a game community development stream, not game development stream. Yeah. It's a like if you you call your buddies over to hang out to like, I don't know, like build a chair or something, but like you're not really there to build a chair, you're just kind of there to hang out, and then maybe a chair gets built, something like that. That's basically like how I view it. So yeah, all right, well, it was fun. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. Yeah, so probably next stream will be Monday, probably. How do we add to the lunch money? So the stream elements link is in the description. If you donate more than $2, you get text to speech. I think I have to. I'm pretty sure it does work. So if you want to donate, then feel free. I will be very grateful for that. I don't think I've ever seen the chair get built. My mates immediately forget our project. Yeah, basically, right? It's just an excuse to get the boys over, crack open some beers, YouTube might have broken the description on my end, Sag. That's okay. I'll take a look at it and see what's going on. Oh, you know what? I didn't even bother copying and pasting it. Okay. That's on me. I just completely forgot to put in a description. Okay. Next stream. I mean, no one's ever obligated to donate, right? It's just a nice little like thank you, like if you want to, then I'm infinitely grateful, but you're not obligated to. Final question, Garbage, how long have you been on Femdinal? So I've been transitioning for about 14 months now. Yep. A little bit over a year. Having good progress. All right. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.